was a little more special. I had commissioned 3 pieces of art. I don't know if you want to show them to them later or something, but it was 3 pieces. It was like one, it was just kind of like me, like alone. It was kind of like a wintry setting, just kind of like a sad setting. And then and then it was like when I met her, and it's kind of, it has like a fantasy setting, kind of like when I met her, like, you know.
Shake my hand. Welcome to my podcast.
Okay, welcome to your podcast.
Yes. Anyways, where do I start from? Happy birthday.
Thank you, thank you.
Yay!
Yay!
You're old.
Oh no.
Anyways, so when did you propose to me?
I proposed to you, I think it was it March?
How many weeks after you asked me to be your girlfriend?
So it was like 7 or 8 weeks.
It was 7, actually.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So, did you think like it was way faster? Like you're proposing like 7 weeks. So, do you think it was way faster? You proposing 7 weeks?
Anytime I hear stories of like people proposing after like a month or something, I'm like, you're crazy, don't do that, it doesn't make sense. But when we did it, it felt right. And looking back, like, it still feels right, but it was still, what was like 6 months later until we actually like met, and it still felt right. And then it was like another year almost before she came over here, and it still felt right. And then it was another couple months before we got married, and it still felt right, and it still feels right.
Okay, anyways, hi guys, thank you so much for tuning in. If you are a new subscriber, thank you so much. We love to have you here. And if you are a returning subscriber, thank you for always coming back to watch our video. My good name is Cheryl.
I'm Jason.
Yes, so guys, on today's video, anytime you see us seated here, just know it is raw and unfiltered. I'm not going to edit anything, so anytime you see us here, like we are giving you how we said it. I'm not going to filter anything, so I want to try to make this video as short as possible because I talk way too much. If you know me, I talk. So before we start, today is my baby's birthday. Yay!
Yay!
He's old.
I'm not that
old. Soon.
How old am I? 28?
Yeah, 28. He's very old.
She's embarrassed, so.
Yeah, it's very old. So
she actually cooked me dinner today. Delicious chicken and chips and fries. It was perfect. Wedges.
Yes, and I also baked a cake, and so anyways.
I'm a lucky man.
And I baked. So I will put a photo of the food there, and maybe
we wanted to start a tradition where we make each other birthday cakes. And this year I made hers, she made mine.
I don't know what I signed up for.
We don't have any of the like cake decorating tools and stuff, so we just kind of threw it together. But it tastes good and it's cute.
His was way presentable than mine. I messed up the last minute. I wish I didn't do what I did. So oof. So anyways, that is not today's topic. So guys, I know it sounds crazy. Some of you will judge us. I know. But let me tell you guys, so if you've watched our previous video on how we met on a dating site, and dating site, the name is Boo, and we talked, and then after talking for like a week or something, he asked me to be his girlfriend, which I said yes, but I was not. Go get the juice there. So after him asking me to be his girlfriend, which I was like, okay, but definitely you're going to disappear. 7 weeks later, he asked me to be his future wife. Like, he proposed, and it is so weird because we've never met, and proposing online, ew, I know. I didn't even tell any of my friends, so I think you will do the talking. Why? What came to your mind to propose to me that early?
So we started dating after about a week. She was super fun to talk to. We were talking every day, multiple times a day. She was clearly someone I liked and that I wanted to be serious with. So, even though it's long distance and everything, we were both there for a reason, and so I asked her to be my girlfriend. And as we started talking over the next few weeks, one thing she did is she was very good at coming up with conversations, hypothetical situations, or delving into things like how would you react, and if you're a parent, do you want kids? How do you feel about religion? Just random stuff. I think some of it she's gotten off magazines and websites and stuff, and some of it's off the top of her head. And I could be wrong. I don't know where she's got it, but she always had a list of questions to go through, and there was never a lack of stuff to talk about. And I got to know her, and she got to know me very well. And as long as you're honest, I think, as long as you're not lying when you're answering those questions, I think it was a really good way for us to get to know each other, for real. And just the more I spent time with her, even though it was just on video and call, the more I realized, I wanted to spend more and more time with her. I wanted to.
Okay, sorry.
So I knew early, Mapema, that I wanted to propose to her. I wanted it to be a little special because it was going to be a long distance proposal, which, I get, but I wanted her to know that I was serious about this, that I saw this going someplace, and all that. So I sent her something. She didn't know what it was.
And before you sent me that thing, so before you sent it, did you do your research and everything?
Mm-hmm.
So, if you've watched our previous video, before Valentine's, he sent me money. That was the first time he sent me money, after dating for 2 weeks, and then from there, he had to send me money. Okay, I know some of you will be like, girl, are you there for money? Am I here for money? Yes. And no.
You're the wrong guy.
Yes and no. Anyways, so I'm not here for money.
Just real quick for anyone, if you missed the last video or whatever, I wanted to do something for Valentine's Day, sending stuff where she was at the time, Kisumu. It was a lot harder to send deliveries. So surprising her was not exactly something I could do. But I wanted her to do something for Valentine's Day. So I ended up sending her some money. Her and her cousin went out to the movies, I think, or dinner or something like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I sent her a little bit each month just to help out. And if she was here, I'd be buying her stuff and taking care of her and just spending a little money here and there. And that's basically what I was sending her.
Yeah, so after him sending me the money, he asked for my address. He was like, I want to send you something and I need your details, your address. And I was like, no, thank you. I don't want you to send me anything. I'm good. You've sent me the money. Thank you so much. God bless you. So it took me days. I didn't send him the address. And I remember one day,
I'd asked 2 or 3 times, and eventually she gave it to me.
Yeah, but for me to send, I was like, okay, let me just send, because he kept asking, and they were like, no. So I was like, okay, nothing will pain me if I send it, so let me just send it. So before that, I remember him asking me like, which type of ring do you like? And I was like, oh, white gold. So that's all. I didn't know anything. Like him asking me, I didn't know. He didn't even ask for my finger size or anything. So after sending him the address and everything, what did you do?
So first of all, I think the ring size stuff, or the ring stuff, I think we did that with Pema, just like stuff you liked. It wasn't like back to back.
But he was taking notes. Me, I didn't know.
Yeah, and she, we did talk about. I do know what type of ring she wanted. She wanted like the solitaire, I believe it's called, like the single. Basically what you got.
Yeah, like
right?
this. Okay, you can't see that.
So that's the style you wanted. So I ended up picking out a ring, and I sent it. It wasn't like super expensive. I didn't want to send something through the mail and everything, but it's pretty. It's nice. It's pretty quality. And she seems to like it. But I sent it to her, and I told her something was coming and to look out for it, and she didn't know what it was.
Yes.
I don't know if you know this girl. She does not like surprises. She will try to pry it out of you.
Yes, I don't want to be like...
best to just surprise her. Don't tell her a surprise is coming.
Exactly.
But I didn't have a choice in this option because I needed her to be on the lookout for it, that they would potentially call her to finish the delivery.
And I waited, imagine waiting for 2 weeks, not knowing what you're supposed to receive.
She didn't know if I was sending her shoes or clothes, jewelry,
yes,
whatever.
So I almost had an heart attack. After what she sent was received at the airport. Kiari. If you're in Kenya, you know Kiari. I got a call like, hi Cheryl, blah blah blah, we have your package. And they charge you according to the size, the weight, and I don't know the value.
I think it's the value. Yeah.
The value too. So they called me and they were like, we have your package, and before you receive your package, you have to pay a tax. And if you don't pay that tax today, the package we will still have it for 3 days, and every day you have to pay extra tax. So if they receive the package today, I have to pay it today for it so that they can take it to Kisumu, because I was in Kisumu and the package was in Nairobi. And if I didn't send the money that day, they were going to charge me 3,500 every day plus the money I was supposed to pay. So the money I was supposed to pay was 10,000. I almost fainted. I was like, hey, well, why am I paying 10,000 for what? So I had to call him. I was like, bro, I've been told to send like 10,000. Why? For like, what did you send? Because I didn't know what it was. Yeah. So you had to send me that 10,000 to send it. Yep. So after that, later, how did I get my package? They called me, but I didn't receive. I didn't hear the phone ring. So later when I called them back, they told me like they've already, because they were supposed to deliver to where I was, but I didn't pick up the phone. So you were what?
Yeah. It's all right.
Sorry. So I had to go pick up the package. I went, pick up the package, came back. The note in the package was like, don't open. Don't open
until you talk to me, or something like that.
Yes, I was like, oh my lord, is this a bomb? What is this? So he was waiting because he was supposed to go to sleep, but he knew I was going to pick the package, so he was there waiting.
So trying to make the situation, the proposal, a little more special, I had commissioned 3 pieces of art. I don't know if you want to show them to them later or something, but there was 3 pieces. It was like one, it was just kind of like me, like alone. It was kind of like a wintry setting, just kind of like a sad setting. And then and then it was like when I met her, and it's kind of, it has like a fantasy setting, kind of like when I met her, like, it's bright and sunny and colorful flowers and pretty. and then the third one is like my character like proposing to her.
Yeah, and
that's kind of how I exposed it. Like I showed her the first picture, sent it to her, and then told her felt lonely before I met her, and then sent her the second picture. Told her like she makes me so happy. I just look forward to the future and everything. And then the third one I sent her, and I told her I want her to be my wife and marry me. And
I know it's weird.
Yeah, but I was working with the tools I had available.
Yeah, and so the photos, I used this photo of mine when I had that hair type, like
I sent the artist a handful of your pictures, and then she kind of did her own thing.
The artist. So I asked him like, how did you get these photos? The price. I was like, bro, you could have just sent me that money. I feel bad saying talking about money, but
commissioning artists isn't cheap, especially not for something like this.
It was expensive. It was very expensive. Like the amount he paid for the artist to come up with our pictures, I was like, you could have just sent me that money, and then you're like, ta-da! Please marry me. Cindio?
Okay, well, if I marry you again, I'll keep that in mind. But,
yes.
Yeah.
So I was like...
She was legitimately mad at me for a little bit. Upset that I wasted the money.
Yeah, I was like, okay.
Her mom liked the pictures and defended me later.
Yes, I was like, you can't pay this amount of money for that. It was over $1,000, right?
It was around $1,200.
$1,200. You know that is how much in Kenyan shillings just for photos.
I was trying to make it special.
Minus without the like $1,200. That is like over. It's like over 150,000.
Yeah, something.
Yes, like 150,000 Kenyan shillings. I can start a business with that. Yeah, so I was like, Pulo, bro, how much did you pay for this? And when I heard it was 1,200, I almost fainted. I was like, you didn't have to, like, you could have just asked me without 1,200, paying 1,200 for the photos. So I will tell me if those photos are worth 1,200. Okay, I'm not complaining, they're so perfect. So if you are me, could you be like, oh my god, you could have just sent me that 1,200, or you could have just kept the money? So yeah, that's how he proposed, and we had to stay for like how many months before seeing it? Mind you, we never met still, like it was on video.
I believe that was March 27th, and I didn't come in until September. I think I flew out on September 11th, right?
Yes.
So yeah, 6 months later.
I didn't tell anyone I was engaged, because tell me, even you, how will I start explaining to my friend? Like, even my best friend didn't know. Winnie, don't kill me. So I was like, how am I even going to tell my friend? Like, I had a ring, and I remember she was like, oh my god, your ring is so cute, because when you're in the dark, it's kind of anyway. So I didn't tell Winnie. I was like, okay, even you, how am I going to explain to my friend, like, this ring, I'm engaged, and I'm engaged to someone I've never met. I'm engaged to someone I've never seen. I'm engaged to someone who I met back then, who I met on a dating site, someone who we've just talked on video calls. So I didn't mention it. I was just, and that one, okay, I usually tell him that one doesn't count for me. The day I was engaged was when he came, and yeah, now, ta-da! Will you marry me?
Absolutely.
Will you marry me? Will you be my wife?
Aww. Will you be my husband?
Aww. Yes, mama. Anyways, so yeah, that's what happened. And any advice? How do you know that these, like, any advice to someone out there? a lady, a woman? How do you know it's right to make that move?
So the first thing is like dating online is always different, weird. Like one, like the first step was like I wanted to call her of the first few days. Like we chatted for a little bit and then we talked and it's like, okay, I'm at least talking to a girl. Like it sounds like a girl. Because when you're talking to people online, like there's a whole show about being catfished. Mm-hmm. And then a few days later, or maybe it was that day or something, we did a video call. So I was like, all right, I'm talking to a real person. But like the entire time that we were talking, like everything that we were talking about, like, you know, I never caught you in a lie. You were always consistent. You know, you seemed to be very truthful. And we just had such good conversations, and I felt like I really knew you, and it felt right. You know, we've talked about what we wanted, the good stuff, the bad stuff, the, you know, hypotheticals, you know, how we both view religion, how we feel about kids, how we would raise kids.
Very important questions to ask someone.
How do we feel about pets? She verified very quickly that I was okay with never having any reptiles or rodents in the house.
Rat and snake. That's it. Anything.
And frogs.
Yeah, rat,
probably lizards,
snake, frog. But the rest, I don't care. Even if you bring a cow, for us to have a cow as a pet, okay. If you bring a fish, and then another thing, if you're talking to someone online or before you commit to a relationship or before you commit to marriage, make sure you talk about having kids. Make sure you talk about religion. Make sure you talk about finances. Like those are the key important things.
Like whether or not how you guys view about your job situations, you know. Do you not want to work? Does the other person not want you to work? Do you want to work? You know, just...
And also if maybe you really want kids, the other person doesn't want kids, and like how many kids, like maximum. Maybe yes, both of you want kids, and the one person is like, me just want one, and maybe the other person like, oh my god, me I want two. So you have to be like on the same page. So how do you know you're in love?
I just was constantly thinking about you. About, you know, my decisions weren't just my decisions, they were our decisions. You know, like if I do this, how is that going to affect us? And not just me, you know. So, you know, like traveling to Kenya and everything was an expense. You know, if for example, if I bought a new computer, I would have a new computer, but we wouldn't get to see each other for another 3 months or something, right? You know, it was just
yes.
Every decision I made was basically like, how would it affect us and everything.
And how did you know you were ready to get married? Because it was way early to know that. You can't meet someone, not even meet. You can't start talking to someone you've not seen them and hola.
I mean, it's pretty much the same thing I said earlier. I just was always thinking about you and us, and it felt right. Like I saw a future with us, and I wanted to pursue that future. And like I said, it was 6 months before we actually got to meet in person.
Yeah.
It still felt the same way when we met and when I was leaving. A year later, it was like, 9-10 months or something later, when I went back a second time, I still felt the same way. Then like a month and a half later, she came back with me, or she came back after me, and I still felt the same way. And a couple months later, we got married, and
you still feel the same.
I've been suffering. I mean, I've been happy ever
since.
Yeah,
you've been suffering ever since.
No, not at all. I'm
so,
super happy.
What if you came to your first time coming to Kenya, and what you ordered is not what you received? You're like, oh my god, my ring is there and everything, but the face is not facing.
We've talked on video call,
babe,
constantly.
You video call and you in person are two different people. So what if I was like that? Like now, me on video call, I look way better. Because me on video call and photos, I look like in person, I look like So,
I mean, if you do meet someone, like you need to feel good about the relationship. You need to love them, not just the idea of them. So like, it's possible, like for some people, like you feel great, you really want this, then you meet them, and maybe it's looks, maybe it's how they carry themselves, maybe it's how they act off camera or something, and it just doesn't vibe, and that sucks, but that's okay. Like, so you got to pick up on that stuff before you fully commit.
So could you have been like, I'm sorry I had proposed to you, but so what if I was different from how I was on video call? So could you have been like, bro, thank you so much, but can you just give me back my ring? Or you can keep your ring, but I don't want to marry you again.
Luckily, I didn't have to do any of that. I'm very happy with how everything turned out.
What you ordered?
Exactly.
You don't want to dance?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
But if you are found yourself in that position, it's far better to cut ties, be truthful, just like, hey, like, I was feeling this, now I'm not, and maybe you guys can work it out, or maybe you just move on. Like, that sucks and that's awkward, but it's better than committing to something that you're not sure you want, and then it just makes trouble down the road.
That is wickedness.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. Anyways, guys, I promised you that this video is not going to be long, and it might be long.
I think it's been like a half hour almost.
Oh Lord. So, what are you? Oh, it is your birthday.
Yep.
You are
for a
old.
few more hours, I know.
You are old.
Oh my. If I'm old, what are you?
Children.
You're young, yes, absolutely. Baby girl.
Wait, did Belle scratch you?
I don't know, probably.
Wait. It's like she was trying to slaughter you. Anyway, so guys, thank you so much for watching.
Thank you.
Say bye in Swahili, like close the video.
Kwaheri.
That's it?
Kwaheri ni hakachin.
That is Swahili and Luo.
Milele, yeah. But not forever. But bye for now.
Yeah, say it to Swahili. And tell them you love them, and thank you so much for subscribing and watching.
Whoa. Kwaheri, nakupenda sana. Whatever the rest you said.
Thank you for watching.
Thank you for watching.
In Swahili. How do you say thank you?
Asante. I don't know how to say for watching.
Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you like the video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. We will see you guys on our next video. Bye.
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 Bye. Bye. We want to eat cake. Say cake.
Yes. Okay. Papa.